please make sure that if you're doing what I've just done, that you do it outside in a well ventilated area. All I'm doing here is I'm just primering my mini-me head. I've just used this. I got this from a model workshop in Manchester, Arndale Town Centre. You can get something quite similar. If you can't get this, then go to Halfords. Halfords do a really good white primer as well. We're just primering it before we paint it. Simple as that. Right, that's it. All I've done is I've primered the head. Now, the reason we primer it is because the plastic is not the best to paint straight onto. You need to put some kind of a base coat, a primer on there. I primered it with the Model Workshop primer. It's a little bit expensive, but it's good. As I've said, you could use a Halfords white primer, works just the same. I'll leave this to dry, and then we're going to start putting the main base coat of my face on there. Then we'll work on the hair. I'll leave it to dry, we'll come back, we'll start painting it.
Bei Liz&Evie geht es um die Freundschaft von zwei Mädchen, die sich an einer Bushaltestelle kennenlernen und von denen eine der beiden über sich selbst hinauswächst. Das Kernthema ist Freundschaft und auch Ängste zu überwinden und seine eigene Unsicherheit zu überwinden und über den eigenen Schatten zu springen. Das Thema, auf dem die Geschichte basiert, ist das Thema Haarspende. Das ist ein Thema, über das eigentlich niemand Bescheid weiß und mit dem man aber so vielen Leuten helfen kann. Ich erhoffe mir von dem Projekt, dass die Leute das Thema sehen. Das Besondere an einer Stop-Motion-Produktion ist, alles muss von Hand gebaut werden, alles muss entworfen werden und dann von den Setbauern umgesetzt werden. Es sind jetzt noch 2 Wochen bis zum Dreh und bis jetzt sind wir sehr beschäftigt mit dem Bau der Sets und der Puppen.
This channel has always been set up to create content for stop motion and deliver great information to stop motion enthusiasts, and this video that I have just shown you is a prime example of that. I want this to be a community based channel where I can give lots of information on how I animate, how I make things, but also showing other people's work. I want people to come to me and show me your stuff, and if I think it's fantastic, I want to show it on this channel. I want to help promote other people. The Liz&Evie is a great example of that. And one of the main reasons why it sticks in my heart is because I originally made Dawn of the Dead and it was Kickstarter funded. I was one of the first 1,500 in the UK to be a successful Kickstarter and get the complete money that I was asking for. These guys, their story is great. It's a very strong message that they're wanting to give, and I think that makes it more apparent, and that's why we should support this. They're doing some great work. They're right in the middle of the production now. I think they've done all of their set building and they're starting to animate. You should see them. There's a few images of them animating at the moment. These guys are based in Germany. I managed to find them through Instagram and saw their campaign on Kickstarter. Thought it was great. Said hello to them. Decided I want to show what they're doing on my channel, and hopefully my good friends here on this channel will support them. So if there is still time, there's 13 days before this campaign finishes. If you have the chance, please try and click on the link which will be in the description below to their Kickstarter project. Say hello to them, they're doing some good work. Anyways, back to painting my face. Right, okay, so once your primer is dried on the head, it's time to now start painting. I'm not going to go into lots of detail into this. Everybody paints differently. There are so many techniques. I'm not saying that mine's right, I'm not saying that yours is right or wrong. There are so many different ways to paint. This is just how I'm going to paint. The main thing is we have the primer on, so we are able to paint. There is a little trick that we do once we've painted everything and we're happy with it, which I will show you. First of all, we're just going to start painting it, and it's just normal acrylic paint. That's all we've got. I've got my brush, I've got my acrylic paint, got a batch. I always get, just a tip, this is my only tip that I'm going to give you on painting, I always get a bigger version of the white, because you always need white to mix and dumb it down and soften up the colours, which can get quite bold. That is the only bit of advice that I'm going to give you. Make sure you get a bigger batch of the acrylic white. Wet the brush. We are literally just going to do a base of the head, and then we'll work on the detail later. Simple as that. Yellow ochre is a lovely colour, I like it. It has that skin type texture. I always start off with a bit of yellow ochre, mix of white, and then we start picking out a bit more pink with a red afterwards. This is not going to be me talking much, you're just going to see it in action. What I am obviously doing is looking at the hands that are already made and matching the coloured skin from the hands. Obviously your skin stays the same all the way through. Yes, it can be a little bit more redder on the face where your cheeks are and stuff, but you need to get the tone from the hands itself, as they've already been done in silicone. I'm going to try and match that with the paint. What I'm not doing is absolutely slapping the paint on. We're trying to do a thin layer. If you slap it on, you get big brush marks all across the face. Really just finely brush it on. I've not got much water on this really. It's I'm just kind of like just slowly doing thin layers. It's a technique called dry brush, and it means that there isn't that much water on the brush itself. You're kind of dry brushing the paint on, and it kind of just gives you that better mottled effect. It's good. Right, leave that to dry, and then we'll start applying a bit more. Don't need to leave it too long, because we've done it that thin that it should dry quite quickly, but we do need to wait for a little bit and then we continue. If you're in a rush, not that I am, but if you are in a rush, you can always hairdryer the paint just to dry it off a bit before you continue applying another coat. So what I've done is I've gone quite bold with the colour at the moment, and that's so that I've got nice strong colours that gets into all the nooks and crannies. Then I'll highlight out now the face with the lighter colour, which is more the same colour as a hand, and it just gives it that depth. You know, insides of the nose will stay dark, but maybe the tops of the nose will go lighter. Gives it that sense of depth within the character. Hopefully it'll work out. Let's see. I'm so sorry, the camera decided to die on me, the battery. I was just carrying on painting. As I said, this wasn't going to be the most interesting. Everyone paints differently. Was just how I was painting. All I've done is finished off painting the rest of the head, as you can see right here now. I've added the hair on with my lovely grey locks that I have. And all I've done to finish this off and just make sure that when I'm manipulating the head, I don't scratch off any of the paint or chip the paint. I have used a purity seal. Again, this is something that you can get from Model's Own Workshop in the Arndale. You can get them from everywhere. It's a matte seal. And obviously what that means is you don't get any shine to it, but it sealed the whole of the paint and the head, which means that now all I've got to do is add some eyes, add the eyebrows, put my mouth on, and I can start doing a few little bits of animations with him. I know this hasn't been the most exciting, it's just been me painting and obviously telling you that you can paint your own way too. There is going to be a lot more. Don't forget, check out that Kickstarter campaign down below. And this is episode 9. We are up to episode 10 next. I'm going to be foaming out the body, and then it's going to be putting the clothes on, and then we're almost ready to start doing some animation tests. It's very exciting. Please, if you're enjoying this, continue watching, let other people know about it, make sure you're liking it, hitting the notification icon when you've subscribed, and I shall see you in the next episode. My name is Pete Ellis. This is my animated life. Keep animating one frame at a time.
That you need. If I was you